Hey kiddies, it's Terrible Triple Feature time again, and we're starting off Black Awesomeness Month by asking, what do you mean he can't be played by a black guy? That's right, February is upon us, and as such, Black Awesomeness Month is here once again, in which we look at movies that feature black actors and actresses being awesome. And this week we're going to look at three movies where characters have been race swapped and portrayed by black actors with great success and a modicum of complete racist response by the internet. Thank you, internet, for giving voice to crazy people who don't understand that people are just people. As such, our sympathies go out to Donald Glover and his Spider-Man experience, and Michael B. Jordan for his potential Fantastic Four experience if he actually gets the part of Johnny Storm, which I hope he does. He would be a great Johnny Storm. I want them to dive whole hog into it. Why not have a black Fantastic Four? It'd be awesome. Michael B. Jordan as Human Torch, Chiwetel Ejiofor as Reed Richards, promote Kerry Washington from being Alicia Masters up to Sue Storm, and of course, there's only one black actor alive who could play Ben Grimm, and that's the one, the only, Terry Crews. Bam. $1 billion right there with that cast. But no. Anyway, our menu is going to include Daredevil, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Marvel's The Avengers. The movies this week we're going to be going in order of least amount of controversy to most, from Daredevil up to The Avengers. I really liked Daredevil. I liked just the original cut of Daredevil, and the director's cut of Daredevil is even better. For those of you who hated it, and you are in no small number, it's worth checking out the director's cut. It's probably not going to change your opinion completely, but it gives you a better sense of the movie that it could have been, and, you know, is to a large portion there. One of the big benefits of either version of the film is Michael Clarke Duncan's Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Traditionally, Kingpin has been a white crime lord in Marvel Comics, going all the way back to the first year of Amazing Spider-Man. And when it came time to make this movie, Mark Steven Johnson, the director, went with the best actor available. We wanted somebody who could look pudgy but really pull off the muscle angle and just be physically imposing in every scene. And on top of it, you had to have a guy that could act. Enter the late, the great Michael Clarke Duncan, who completely got it. In every one of his scenes, he portrays the complete elegance and confidence, self-assuredness of Wilson Fisk. There is nobody that can outthink him, and definitely nobody that can outfight him. I point out the director's cut because it puts in the regular cut of the movie. Wilson Fisk is introduced, and he's told that somebody's talked. He's up with Electra's father, played by the great character actor Eric Avery, and but in the director's cut, he's told that somebody's talked, and then he deals with them. Michael Clarke Duncan, or the Kingpin, kills two guys with basically his bare hands, just lifting him up by the throat and just choking the life out of him. And with a lesser imposing actor, it just wouldn't work. But with Michael Clarke Duncan, you just know, of course he can do that. This is who he is. It pays off beautifully for the fight at the end, because, again, you're going to need an actor that can convincingly deadlift Matt Murdock into the air and then throw him and then beat the hell out of him just to make sure he's getting the job done. And it was fun because he and Ben Affleck were in Armageddon a few years earlier, and now they're good buddies, and now they're at each other's throats. And it's wonderful. Of the three movies, Michael Clarke Duncan's Kingpin had the least amount of internet overreaction over his casting. They were pretty much okay with it overall. There's always going to be holdouts, but again, it's hard to find that a guy that big and muscular and be able to act at the same time. And Michael Clark Duncan just could do it easily, and it's a real shame that he's gone now. Again, this is one of those movies where I really, really liked the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, but I seem to be in the minority of it. And once again, one of the reasons I completely love it is Mos Def's Ford Prefect. Prior to Matt Smith, I don't think I'd ever seen just as good a performance of just an alien in a human's body, where you look at Mos Def in this movie and you would never think that he's really from Earth, which just adds another level of comedy to his relationship with Martin Freeman. And what's great is that Mos Def has got chemistry with everybody in this movie, especially Martin and especially Sam Rockwell's Zaphod Beeblebrox. They just play it up the entire time, just him having fun as the roving researcher for the Hitchhiker's Guide. And I knew that once they cast him, they the line when he reveals to Arthur that he's an alien would just be that much better. Which he just looks at him. What if I told you I wasn't from wasn't from Guilford? And it would just be great. Generally, Arthur is the straight man throughout the whole book and or films, but Mos Def is just effortlessly moves into whatever role the character needs to be at any given time. A lot of the time, he's just this deadpan exposition machine, letting everybody know what's going on. Other times, he's just got this sardonic way about him. And then others, he will be waving around a towel, ready to attack an alien at the drop of a hat in defense of his friends. And all of this is just great. And it's a zany movie, and there just aren't enough people of color in zany sci-fi movies. I mean, you know, outside of The Matrix. Every time I watch it, he is a complete delight. It is really, in terms of performance, I know I'm going to get pilloried by Tumblr, but it really goes Sam Rockwell, Mos Def, then Martin Freeman, and trailing behind is Zooey Deschanel, who she does a great job. This was back before she realized that this was this sort of quirky character was her moneymaker and did nothing but it. But Mos Def, really, really a lot of fun, and I wish that series could have gone on longer. And if you go on the internet, you'll find just people reacting poorly to why is he a black guy when he was a white guy in this, and it's even more ridiculous because, I mean, all of these are ridiculous because they're fictional characters. They don't exist in real life, and so you can make them whatever you want. In comics, yes, there are pictures of them, but they are of the time, and at the time, it was by white people for white people. Why wouldn't we want to have all of our multicultural brothers and sisters joining us in the fun? Because one, they're awesome. Two, they add to everything they bring, and B, we want to be cool too. It's, you know, it's so hard trying to be a cool white guy nowadays. It's just you can't really seem to do anything right in terms of race relations anymore, which I thought we were making so much progress. But anyway, the pinnacle of race swapping casting, and this one has an interesting history. Marvel's The Avengers features Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, and I know this isn't the first appearance of Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, but I'm picking that one because you really need an excuse to watch The Avengers. So no, he started in Iron Man at the end of Iron Man, and then traced through at least half of Marvel Phase 1 up to the Avengers. This was fun on a lot of different levels, mainly because there was a comic called The Ultimates, which was the Marvel's Ultimate Universe. Hello, my black cat joining us for Black Awesomeness Month. Lee, you are awesome. And a lot of these characters, Brian Hitch, based on popular celebrities. And when it came time for Nick Fury, he made him Samuel L. Jackson. I'm pretty sure Marvel asked Sam for his permission to use his likeness, and he was totally on board because Sam is a comic book geek. If not only for Unbreakable, but if you watch the music video for Snakes on a Plane, he is in an airport reading a 100 Bullets trade paperback. So he was on board with him being Ultimate Nick Fury. And so when it came time to do Nick Fury's cameo and start to set up the larger Marvel Universe, Favreau and Kevin Feige totally went to Sam Jackson for Nick Fury because why not have this? And because he's awesome, Sam Jackson's just like, heck yes, I want to do it. And he signed on. He signed on for like 9 movies. He's going to be Nick Fury for a while. You had the standard Nick Fury's a white guy reactions, but what really catapults this to hilarity is that David Hasselhoff in particular took up quite a few issues with Sam Jackson playing Nick Fury, because David Hasselhoff played Nick Fury back in a TV movie, and it's kind of fun to note that all of these characters have appeared in TV movies before this. There was a Nick Fury movie with David Hasselhoff. There was a Hitchhiker's Guide TV miniseries that featured David Dixon as Ford Prefect. And in the trial of the Incredible Hulk, Matt Murdock defends David Banner when he's on trial. And he, because it's Daredevil's in the movie, the Kingpin does, and he's played by John Rhys-Davies of Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones fame. What sets David Hasselhoff and the Nick Fury thing apart is that neither David Dixon nor John Rhys-Davies got into a Twitter fight with Sam Jackson over who should be playing Nick Fury. David Hasselhoff citing that Stan Lee personally told him that he was the ultimate Nick Fury. David Hasselhoff not really understanding that Stan Lee would say that to anybody that was dressed as Nick Fury at any given moment, because that's the type of schmoozer that Stan Lee is. But you don't need me to tell you that Sam Jackson is an incredible Nick Fury. He's great. He's authoritative. He's funny when he needs to be. He's just this wonderful all-around character. And him and Phil Coulson really provide the glue for this entire cinematic experiment that is so far just kicking ass. And so, when you look at Sam Jackson as Nick Fury and Mos Def as Ford Prefect and Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin, I have to ask, why can't he be a black guy? Why can't all of these characters be black guys? Michael B. Jordan should be the Human Torch, because have you seen Chronicle? He's awesome with superpowers. Donald Glover's a cool guy now, but you know he knows what it's like to be a nerd, and that would have made the character that much more real. And it's doubly fun that people got up in arms for Donald Glover playing Spider-Man, because look, he's going to be in a mask the whole time. What's it even matter what he looks like, other than just the delivery of the jokes? And we know that Donald Glover can do jokes. So why can't these characters be played by African Americans, people of color, any minority really? Daredevil, I recommend the director's cut. Watch whichever version you want. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Marvel's The Avengers. Hey kiddies, quick addendum. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I forgot about Idris. I meant to do an honorable mention for Idris Elba's comic book work, because he's been in not one, but 2 different movies based on comic books in which he played a character that was originally a white guy. In The Losers, he plays Roke, a member of the ill-fated Losers Squad. And in both Thor movies, he plays Heimdall, the guard of the Bifrost, and the Asgardian god that can see and hear everything. I think I mainly forgot because The Losers, while I enjoy it very much, was not a very popular movie, even though he was really great in it and has a major role. And while he's in major movies with Thor 1 and 2, just not that big of a part. And, it's not necessarily a waste of his talent, it's just not really big. So stick with the main three, but if you have more time, Idris. Always more Idris. And I'll see you guys next week.